Hi, my name is Mizuka, and as you probably know, I'm a massive fan of the pairing between Ash and Dawn from the Pokémon anime. Some might even call them my favorite couple in all of fiction, but why is that? Why do I adore the relationship between these two so much? In this video, I will explain why that is. Before we get started though, please note that I will primarily be covering Generation 4 of the anime for this. It's where the relationship is the most prominent, and while I will briefly cover the other generations Dawn appears in, I find that the way they mischaracterize her leaves a bad taste in my mouth, so I've chosen to keep mention of them at a minimum. With that out of the way though, let's get this truly started. Let us start this off by going over the fact that these two are my favorite characters in the show in general and some of my favorite characters in all of fiction. Dawn is an adorable ray of sunshine who uses her smile to hide her insecurities and struggles, while Ash is a dork with a bigger heart than most people, kinda like a golden retriever. We see a lot of both of these kinds of characters in fiction, but they're also the kind of characters I tend to like more than most. Moreover, their relationship makes them much more interesting as characters. It doesn't matter if you see the relationship as platonic or not, you can't deny that these two are like peas in the pod. They're best friends. They're supportive in each other's dreams as possible, and while that's nothing new to Ash, to Dawn, that's a completely different story. Ash will often incorporate Dawn's own coordination techniques into his battle style, and Dawn will often adapt Ash's battle style into her mentality during appeals and contests. There's not a battle style that they each have on their own, because it's one they created together. None of Ash's other travel buddies even get that honor. It makes it abundantly clear that Dawn is the closest human friend that Ash has ever had. They even have more parallels between each other than Ash does with anyone else. Their journeys start out with their first partner Pokemon fending him off from a horde of other Pokemon who they accidentally provoked, and they both have extremely big and unrealistic goals, but they understand how important that is to the other. And don't forget their mutual love of Pokemon. They also have more small, cute moments between each other than they do with anyone else. Teasing, playfully provoking, and generally just having fun with one another. There's no doubt that these two love being around each other. But what gives the relationship so much more nuanced than Ash's other relationships is that he seems so much more comfortable with talking about his insecurities and troubles with Dawn than with any other person. Most of the time, Ash's friends will figure out whatever's troubling him before he has a chance to muster up the courage to tell them. But with Dawn, he has no problem with going up to her and genuinely asking her for advice. And it's a mutual feeling too. Most of the times where Ash talks to Dawn about his struggles, she will as well. They almost never bicker about each other's problems, nor do they avoid it like what Ash did with his friends in the Snowbell arc. They always talk their problems out in mature and polite ways. Another thing that separates their relationship from the other these two have is that Ash genuinely cared for her more than anyone else before and after their series together. Ash would do anything to see that smile, from immediately bolting to her after she loses contests to shouting her catchphrase to her as they departed so she wouldn't cry. It's to the point to where Ash will sometimes contradict his own mentality just to make Dawn happy. He's so vehemently against trading his Pokemon with others, but he changes that with Dawn. In Journey's Ill, he explicitly states that he wouldn't ever want to split his food with another person, but the moment he sees Dawn upset by herself in the Mirror World arc, he immediately offers Dawn a piece of his meal. Ash is written so much denser around other people too, it makes it kinda difficult to believe that Dawn isn't his favorite person. Ash and Dawn's Pokemon are also much closer with each other than Ash's are with the Pokemon of other companions. It really makes the two trainers feel more like their parents. Let's not forget about the movies either. They also have a lot of these small, really sweet moments between each other. A highlight was in the Darkrai movie. When the hot air balloon they were on begins to shake from the ongoing climax battle, Ash's first instinct is to reach out and grab Dawn's hand. Another highlight is, well, the entire Shaman and Giratina movie. Ash and Dawn are alone together for most of the movie with what is essentially their adopted snot-nosed brat of a child, Shaman. And when they take Shaman to the Sky Bouquet and they're given the luxury of looking at the event up close, Ash looks at Dawn. Just from his expression, it's easy to tell at that moment that Ash thought of Dawn as the prettiest girl in the world. Ash and Dawn are equals. The show genuinely tries to make that as clear as humanly possible. Dawn isn't just a girl Ash traveled with through Sinnoh. She's his best friend, someone who's taught him so much while also being the shield to his sword. And most of all, his partner.